Hare Krishna. I'll be speaking about Pradyumna Brahmachari. Aveshascha tatha jiyo mishre Pradyumna sanjnati. The Lord's Avesha manifestation took place in Pradyumna Mishra. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur has quoted the above verse in connection with Pradyumna Brahmachari and not for the orison Pradyumna Mishra. The Gaudiya Vaishnav Abhidan has also taken the same position. Haridas Thair recalls that Pradyumna Brahmachari, the Lord's Avesha. The Lord's Avirbhav. Sakshat Darshana Ara Yogya Bhakta Jive Avesha Kariye Kaha Avirbhave. Lord delivered the fallen souls in three different ways. Some places by appearing to them directly in his self-same body. In other places by entering into a worthy devotee, and in still other places by divine epiphany. His principal method of giving salvation was to appear to the conditioned souls in his self-same body. But he also took possession of Nakul Brahmachari's body and made an apparition before Narsingananda Brahmachari, who is also Pradyumna Brahmachari. It is the Supreme Lord's nature to declare, I shall deliver the people of the world. Chaitanya Charitamrit 3.2.4-6. The name Narsingananda, Mahaprabhu, gave Pradyumna Brahmachari the epithet Narsingananda because of his absorption in the service of Narsingha. He is considered to be one of Chaitanya's own branches. Pradyumna Brahmachari considered himself to be the servant of Narsingha, for Narsingdev manifested himself in his body. He remained by Mahaprabhu's side in the consciousness that Narsingha himself had appeared in the form of a sannyasi. Vrindavan Das Thakur writes in Chaitanya Bhagavat that Pradyumna conversed directly with Narsingdev. This is mentioned particularly when Pradyumna joined the company of devotees on the annual pilgrimage for Jagannath Puri. Pradyumna Brahmachari, who talked directly to Narsingdev, walked along as a part of the company of devotees. All those people who think that the body of the Lord is a product of the material nature are atheists who have been bewildered by the Lord's illusory energy. They think that these accounts are all stories they can criticize out of their false sense of being learned. Anyone who lacks faith in the Supreme Lord is an unfortunate beggar who is cheated of any worthwhile achievement in life, and who gains nothing but the birth and death that are the lot of the conditioned soul. The power of Pradyumna's meditation. When Mahaprabhu took sannyas in Katwa, he made off for Vrindavan, but Nityananda Prabhu tricked him into coming back to the Shantipur, to the house of Advaita Acharya. Afterwards, the Lord continued to Puri in the company of Damodar Pandit, Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadanand Pandit, Mukund Dutt. Shortly thereafter, he left Puri on a pilgrimage through southern India. On his return from South India, he planned a trip to Vrindavan that would take him on the route along the Ganges through Bengal. On this trip, he stopped at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's brother, Vidya Vachaspati, in Vidyanagar, delivered Devanand Pandit and Shapal Gopal from their offences in Kulia village, and then met Rup and Sanatan Goswamis for the first time in Ramakeli. As Mahaprabhu made this trip, Pradyumna Brahmachari meditated on him, visualizing himself placing jeweled bricks on the roads on which the Lord was walking to make his journey more agreeable. When the Lord reached Kannair Nutshell, about 200 miles north of Calcutta, in the Santal Paragana district of Bihar state, 5 miles from the town of Rajmahal, Pradyumna's meditation suddenly broke. He was immediately able to understand that the Lord would only go as far as Kanai Nutshell on this occasion and no further. It is said that mental service like that performed by Narsingh Brahmachari in this meditation is superior to service performed with actual ingredients. Rup Goswami makes this point in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 1.2.182, where he gives the example of the Brahmin from Pratishtanpur who attained the association of Narayan in Vaikunt as a result of mental service or Manasi Seva. On one occasion, Mahaprabhu was attracted by Narsinghananda's love to come to Kumar Hut and to appear in the house of Shivanand Sen. This story has been told beautifully by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the 2nd chapter of the Antilila of his Chaitanya Charitamrit. One year, as Shivanand Sen's nephew Shrikant Sen left Puri, Mahaprabhu told him to convey the message to the Bengali devotees that there was no need for them to come to Puri that year, for he himself would be visiting Bengal in the month of Posh. When Shrikant came with this news, all the devotees were jubilant in the expectation of the Lord's visit. But when the month of Posh had almost come to an end and there was no sign of Mahaprabhu, Shivanand Sen, Jagadanand Pandit and the others who had been waiting anxiously were disheartened by his non-arrival. At that time, Narsinghananda appeared by and asked everyone the reason for their unhappiness. When he heard that they were disappointed that the Lord had not come, he assured them that he would be able to make Mahaprabhu appear there within 3 days. Since Shivanand and Jagadanand knew Narsinghananda's spiritual powers, they believed in him. Narsinghananda sat down and stayed absorbed in meditation for 2 days, after which he told Shivanand that Mahaprabhu had arrived in Panihatti and that by noon of the next day he would be in Kumarahatta. He ordered Shivanand Sen to supply him with the ingredients for a feast in honor of the Lord. He personally started cooking early in the morning and made a large variety of preparations that he distributed onto 3 plates to make offerings to Jagannath, Narsingha Dev and Mahaprabhu. As soon as he sat down in meditation for the offering, Mahaprabhu personally appeared and ate all 3 plates, leaving no remnants. Although Narsinghananda was overjoyed to see the Lord accept his offerings, he made a pretense of disappointment. He said, "Since Mahaprabhu and Jagannath are ontologically non-different, there was no fault in his eating the plate set out for Jagannath. But why had he taken the offering intended for Narsinghadev? Narsinghadev has fasted today," he said. Indeed, the Lord performed this pastime in order to show that he is non-different from Jagannath or Narsinghadev. After eating, Mahaprabhu left for Panihatti. Narsinghananda cried out in distress, causing Shivanand to inquire what was the cause of his troubles. Narsinghananda answered that the Lord had alone eaten all 3 plates, leaving Jagannath and Narsinghadev to fast. Shivanand Sen had some doubts, but on his request, he provided him with foodstuffs to prepare a second offering. The Brahmachari cooked once again and made an offering to Narsinghadev. The next year, when Shivanand Sen went with the Bengali devotees to Puri, everyone was duly astonished to hear that the Lord himself volunteered the information that he had been to Shivananda's house in the month of Posh and had eaten the delicious offerings made by Narsingh Dev. One day, the Lord was engaged in conversation in the presence of all the devotees and suddenly began to praise Narsinghananda's qualities. He said, "Last year, in the month of Posh, Narsinghananda gave me delicious sweetmeats and vegetables, such as I had never eaten." Hearing this, all the devotees were struck with wonder, and Shivanand was finally convinced that this incident was true. As stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita 3.2.76 to 78, excerpted from Sri Chaitanya, His Life and Associates by Srila Bhakti Balab Tirtha Maharaj. Thank you, Hare Krishna.